Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have myself a energy shot in the soda. For my returning viewers, no alcohol in this video because I just don't feel like it, you know? I mean, that's kind of the reason I started using alcohol in the videos is because I had alcohol. My alcohol supply has gone down reasonably, and I'm kind of happy with that, so I'm having myself an energy shot and a tropical 7-Up. We're going to talk about China. For those of you that don't know, I am a food blogger, and I have these things that sit around my house until they get old, and I don't want to throw them out, so I'm finding uses for them. Anyway, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a ton of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you would be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you'd be doing your part for a better world. Now, China. There's a dichotomy. I look at the news, and they're saying the economy is doing really well, and inflation is down, but everything's really still expensive. And, you know, unemployment is low. Everything should be wonderful, and it's not. The life I lead seems to be not so wonderful. All of my friends seem to be feeling bad. You know, it's a depressing world out there. Well, one of the things I often tell myself is, well, it could be worse. We could be in China, because I watch a lot of videos that talk about how things are in China, and apparently they're really bad. After a national holiday in China, a group of factory workers came back to their jobs to find the building empty. All the tools had been sold or taken, and the owner was gone. And he owed them several months' pay. That's how China's working right now. Things are bad. The economy is apparently falling apart. Businesses are closing. There aren't many in the way of customers. And those people that do have money aren't spending it. The commodities that are selling most are the cheap things. Everybody's showing up for the low-end deals, and it's just the world they appear to live in. Is that, you know, everybody's really struggling to survive. It's sort of like if you took all the problems we have in America and just made them 10 times worse. Which, the weird thing is, why do I keep watching all these videos about how things are terrible in China, and are things really that terrible in China? Part of it gives me a certain level of solace to be like, okay, yeah, things are bad for them. And that lets me know I'm not alone, you know. The world is kind of bad right now. I'm actually doing pretty good compared to how they are, right? You know? How true any of that stuff is, I mean, you know, I don't see this on CNN or NBC or even Fox News. I see it on channels devoted to how things are in China. And I think these channels have a certain bias. If things were going great in China, I don't think they'd be reporting on it. Of course, the big thing we've been worrying about here in America is China attempting to seize Taiwan. It's possible that China could take advantage of the fact that America is embroiled in wars across the globe now We have a major conflict in the Middle East, and we have a major conflict in Europe. So this has become an issue, you know. If the Russians succeed in Ukraine, there is a near 100% chance that the Chinese will try to take Taiwan. That's how the world works. So a weak China is in certain ways a good thing, but the human suffering that is a byproduct of the weak China is a terrible thing. And of course, we can't do anything about it, really. I mean, we're Americans. That's all. We can't go over there and be like, oh, you're going to fix things for your people. No, nothing short of a revolt would change things, assuming things are even that bad. I mean, I don't know how true any of that stuff is. The Chinese government has a major propaganda machine, and there's no saying that the Chinese nationals who have defected, who are no longer Chinese, who are making these videos, are telling the truth. They could have learned from their government and be doing the same kind of propaganda stuff. One of the questions we always have to ask ourselves is, how true is what we're seeing? And I saw one of their videos and I was like, okay, what I'm seeing is definitely not true. They were talking about some technology they thought Americans had, and it's like, no, if we had that technology, we'd know about it. There's no way they would be keeping something that was that well developed secret. We may be researching that technology, but we definitely don't have a working prototype. So that's just one of those things, one of those points. When you look at your life, if things aren't going your way, just think of it this way. Do you have food? Do you have shelter? Then you're doing pretty good. People in China, if they have food, that food may be very toxic. That's what we're seeing a lot of, is that the people in government have their own supplies of food because the food being produced in China is so dangerous because of its low quality and the corners they cut. So, we say a prayer for the people of Ukraine, and we say a prayer for the people of the Middle East, and we should probably be saying a prayer for the Chinese as well. I don't want there to be any human suffering in this world. That's who I am. Not even the suffering of someone who might consider themselves our enemies. Anyway, thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm Richard. Hey, Astro, did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Yeah, Nance, I heard the food was good, but it had no atmosphere. Now that was a corny joke, but you know what isn't a joke? A clean environment. And this channel will buy one of these bracelets I'm holding from 4Ocean for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. So you should comment, like, and subscribe. Support us so we can support a better world.